In this lecture, we will see some other definitions in the vector differentiation. So far, we have seen the gradient, that is the del operator operated on a scalar function. So let us come to that operator is operated on vector point functions. In that first one is divergence. It is defined so. Let f bar be, which is defined as f1 I bar plus f2 j bar plus f3 k bar, where f1, f2, f3 are functions of x, y, z, let us say, be a continuous differentiable vector point function. Let f bar be f1 I bar plus f2 j bar plus f3 k bar be a continuous differentiable vector point function. Then the divergence of f bar is denoted by div f bar. It is simply denoted by div f bar, and is defined as like this. It is div f bar equal to del dot f bar. Div f bar is denoted by del dot f bar or defined so. And we know what a del operator is. The del operator is I bar dou by dou x plus j bar dou by dou y plus k bar to dou by dou z dot this f bar. So you may write this one in this different manners, that is sigma I bar dot dou f bar by dou x. Since f bar is f1 I bar plus f2 j bar plus f3 k bar, if you substitute here, it may be written also like this. So I bar, just write I bar dou by dou x plus j bar dou by dou y plus k bar dou by dou z dot f1 I bar plus f2 j bar plus f3 k bar. If you want to see this one, you can have it is dou f1 by dou x, just like a bar dot b bar. How you can calculate in that way? I bar dot I bar, so it becomes dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. For our calculations, we just use this formula. That means this gradient of f also be written in simple manner, that is del dot f bar equal to dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. In sigma notation, it is sigma dou f1 by dou x also. For calculation purpose, we just use this technique. By definition, we can write it so: sigma I bar dot dou f bar by dou x. So let us come to see the physical interpretation of. Let us come to see the physical interpretation of this divergence of f bar. Suppose f bar indicates any physical quantity. This vector function is a physical, representing any physical quantity. Then divergence of that vector function at each point describes or gives the rate per unit volume at which the physical quantity is issuing from that point. So div f bar means, suppose f bar is any physical it is a vector function representing any physical quantity, then the div f bar gives the rate at any point, the rate per unit volume at which the physical quantity is issuing. Suppose if you are taking f bar is any fluid velocity, f bar represents the velocity of a fluid particle, then div f bar gives the rate, simply it gives the rate at which fluid is originating at a point per unit volume. Like that, it depends the physical quantity that you are taking for f bar. So in many engineering problems, it is often used so that we can have another definition called solenoidal vector. A vector function, a vector point function, f bar is said to be solenoid if div f bar equal to 0. Since the div f bar is only a scalar quantity, if f at all div f bar equal to 0, then that vector point function f bar is called solenoidal vector function or vector. So it is many, this concept has many applications. Suppose if you are taking f bar is a fluid, velocity of the fluid, suppose if div f bar equal to 0, then that fluid is incompressible. In hydrodynamics, the equation is known as equation of continuity. So like that we can have, suppose it is a flux entering at any element in the space as same as that leaving, then also div f bar equal to 0. Like that we can have physical meaning of this div f bar equal to 0. Another definition in this unit is curl. Suppose if I am taking, let f bar equal to f1 I bar plus f2 j bar plus f3 k bar be a continuously differentiable vector point function. This is our continuously differentiable vector point function. Then curl f bar is simply denoted directly at curl f bar, and it is defined as like this: curl f bar equal to del cross f bar. So that is I bar cross dou f bar by dou x plus j bar cross dou f bar by dou y plus k bar cross dou f bar by dou z. In sigma notation, we should write it as sigma I bar cross dou f bar by dou x. We have to calculate in this manner. But for solving problems, we cannot use this definition as it is directly. We know how to calculate a bar cross b bar when both a bar and b bar components are known. That definition I am using here. So if you have it is a1 I bar plus, suppose I am just giving you here a bar equal to a1 I bar plus a2 j bar plus a3 k bar. Similarly, b bar equal to b1 I bar plus b2 j bar plus b3 k bar. Then how do you write a bar cross b bar? It is by determinant of, you can write like this: it is I bar j bar k bar, the components a1 a2 a3 b1 b2 b3. If you are simplifying this determinant, we will get a bar cross b bar. Similarly, the same logic here also we are working out. If you want to calculate del cross f bar, I just take it is determinant of I bar, j bar and k bar, and this del operator has the components dou f by dou x, dou by dou y and dou by dou z. So I just write operators dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, and the components of this f bar is f1 I bar, it is f1 and f2 and f3. I think you know how to calculate this one. It is nothing, it is equal to I bar into, you should write determinant of this one, that is dou f3 by dou y minus, you should take derivative of f3. You don't write it as dou f3 into dou by dou y, which has no meaning at all. You should operate this dou by dou y onto the f3, dou f3 by dou y minus dou f2 by dou z minus j bar into dou f3 by dou x minus dou f1 by dou z plus k bar times it is dou f2 by dou x minus dou f1 by dou y. Like that we can calculate the curl of any vector point function. Now let us come to the physical meaning of this one. Suppose if you are considering the motion of a rigid body which is rotating about a fixed axis through origin, that axis through origin I am taking over, and if you are considering that omega be its angular velocity and v or f bar be the velocity of any particle p of r bar of the body. Suppose I am taking here a motion of a rigid body which is rotating about a fixed axis which is through an origin O, and also I am considering omega be the angular velocity and f bar be the velocity of any particle. The particle represented by p of r bar means r bar is a position vector of that particle, xi bar plus yj bar plus zk bar in the space of the body. Then we have two things. First one is that velocity equal to it is not v, I should write it is f bar. F bar should be equal to omega bar cross r bar. If you are simplifying this omega bar cross r bar in this manner. In place of omega, you may write it is a1 I bar plus a2 j bar plus a3 k bar. R bar is known as xi bar plus yj bar. And if you are simplifying it, you can get that this omega becomes half curl f bar. So this is the one result. So that curl indicates the rotation. Clear? So this is the physical meaning of some curl f bar. Now let us come to the what happens when this logic is working out like this. In the last concept, if div f bar equal to 0, we can say that it is a solenoidal vector. In the same manner, suppose if curl f bar is 0 bar, then what happens? That is called irrotational. It indicates what f bar, curl f bar indicates the, what actually half curl f bar indicates the angular velocity. If curl f bar is a 0 bar, half curl f bar is also 0 bar, which means there is no angular velocity. If there is no angular velocity, then it is called irrotational. There is no rotation at all. That I am writing irrotational. A vector function f bar is said to be irrotational if, and it is, when we can say that it is irrotational, only if that curl f bar equal to 0 bar or del cross f bar equal to 0 bar. When del cross f bar equal to 0 bar or curl f bar equal to 0 bar, then it is called irrotational vector. Since this curl f bar indicates, if f bar is the velocity, then curl f bar indicates angular velocity. So that if it is a 0 vector, then we can say it is irrotational vector.